What's up, guys? Ryan here. Today, I kind of want to talk about football players and Broadway. I've alluded to in previous vlogs that I think that there's a little too much attention being given to CTE when it comes to football players post-retirement, either being depressed or committing suicide or losing their livelihoods, stuff like that. The reason I say that is because I think a lot of the reasons that they are feeling depressed is really the sense of loss, the loss of the community, which was the locker room, which was football, the loss of identity, the loss of creativity. Football actually is creative. People don't necessarily think that, but it's a way to keep your mind stimulated, even though you're smacking your head into other large dudes' heads. Don't let the fact that it's a sport and that it's a violent sport make you think that there isn't intelligence and creativity and passion, and a lot of passion for it. And I want you to imagine that you have been dedicated to something for your entire life. Ever since you were 11, 12 years old, you've been doing this thing. And then 20 years later, you're now 35. And all of a sudden, you're too old for something and it gets taken away from you. How do you deal with that? How do you deal with that well? Lord knows I'm not dealing with it well. You know, dance is gone, poker's gone. Thank God for family, Thank God for writing, thank God for reading. Thank God I have other creative outlets that keep me from going crazy. But the reason I want to talk about Broadway is because people on Broadway and artists in general, singers, performers, actors, they have their livelihoods taken away as well. And you could say that they're the most creative people in society. But not only have we taken away their jobs, we've taken away their very identities. Is it any wonder that artists in particular are suffering so much? Especially because if you think about it, they've literally been told their whole lives, being an artist is not a real job. Being creative is not a real job. It's not sustainable. You are doing this and you're putting your future at risk. When all we've been doing during the pandemic is consuming art. I'm sure I've watched everything on Hulu at this point. I have rewatched many, many shows, many, many movies. And to say that creativity and art is not a viable career path is so messed up. And it's such an obvious lie. But the problem is this pandemic has given people an excuse to bring up those old lies, to bring up those old, dogmatic, quite frankly, ridiculous ways of thinking. Art is not only a viable career path, it is a lucrative career path if you're really good at it, and it is absolutely essential to the fiber of humanity. We have to have it. If it's not there, the world is bleak. We have nothing to look forward to if we do that. I love my family. I love my friends. But the thing that makes all of them vibrant and worthwhile is creativity, is art, is these amazing creative things that we pull seemingly out of nowhere and give emotion form, give our spirits form that others can take in and enjoy and in turn be inspired by. How dare you, dogmatic, conservative, logical people, out there telling artists, see, you chose the wrong path because in a pandemic, you got shut down. Everybody's been shut down in a pandemic. Everybody. So, artists, let's think. It's unfortunate that you can't do your art right now. There are other ways. There are other mediums. Do something online. Do another creative show. Get into the writing. Get into the production. Be behind the scenes if that's what you need to do, right? What can we learn from this? Well, we are learning how important art really is. Do not give up on it. If you got to get a regular job, you get a regular job for a while. That's okay. Believe me, most of us artists are used to having regular jobs in order to support our art. Quite frankly, it is a little bit true that it's hard to support yourself as an artist until you get to a point to where you are recognized and actually are getting paid for your art. And how do we be vulnerable? We got to support each other. You know, we have to give each other like emotional hugs. We have to let each other know that this really sucks, but it's going to end at some point, and we're gonna need art to get all of us through it. Art is not just for the artists, for the world. The world needs art. The world needs creativity. And if it doesn't have it, then when this pandemic is over, we're coming back to a world that is still under lockdown. We can't have that. Artists need to create. I do not blame you if you do not have the passion for your art that you used to have, but don't let it go. Don't give it up completely. Don't just sit here and say, fine, I'll get a regular job and that's all I'm going to do now. Get that regular job if you need to, but keep the dream alive, because believe me, not only is there a demand for art now, there's going to be a huge demand for art when this pandemic is over, because you know what everybody's going to want to do? They're going to want to go to movies. They're going to want to go to shows. They're going to want to go to concerts. They're going to want to do all the things, all these wonderful, beautiful, emotional, inspiring things that we've been denied because of this pandemic. You know, it's just something that doesn't get talked about enough, is the loss of American world, not just American, the entire world's creativity, the entire world's art, the entire world's passion has been muted and suppressed because of this. Don't let coronavirus win. Stay creative. Stay on the path. Stay on the mission. Stay on your artistic mission. Stay on your artistic calling. This is what you were put on this world to do. Don't let it go. Please don't let it go. All right, guys. Thank you so much.